Hey Claire, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to know what you were coming in for today.
Well, I've been having some issues at home with my husband Simon, and recently I was hospitalized.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, due to some violence, and he broke my shoulder.
Oh,
And so
it was a physical altercation.
it was,
Okay.
but you know, he's a good person. He really is.
Okay.
He's a good husband, and he's a good person. I think I irritate him sometimes, so
Okay.
I just. You know, I've been really trying my best not to irritate him and really start to pay attention to his cues that when he gets angry to maybe just help calm him down.
Okay. Was there something in particular during this altercation that irritated him to result in the hospitalization?
Well, not really. It's kind of, if I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of been getting worse.
Okay.
Over time, like
the irritability, kind of.
Yeah, the irritability, but also the violence. You know, he did slap me when he got angry.
Okay.
That was a little while back, but just kind of progressively, it's been getting worse. Where maybe the slaps are happening a little bit more often, and it's just been really hard to deal with. And once I was hospitalized for my shoulder, I finally called the police. I didn't want to. Because he's a good person.
Yeah.
I love him and he's a good husband, but you know, I just and I sometimes think husbands get angry, right? You know, it's okay for them to get angry, and you know, sometimes things happen, but I just this time I think he went a little far.
Yeah, so can you give me more background on the dynamic at home?
Well, I mean, we both work. He works.
Okay.
And I think he works kind of hard. So, you know, I sometimes would just assume maybe he had a bad day at work. And so, you know, I would just try my best not to step on his toes and anger him. And, you know, some days were better than others.
Okay. And with the slapping, you said this is coming more often. Is there a frequency you can give me, like, for the week?
Maybe twice a week.
Oh, okay. So like a higher frequency.
Yeah, it's been getting worse over time.
Okay.
It didn't start out that way. We were happy when we first got married, and I, you know, he would get angry, but I think he could control it. But I think after he slapped me, the first time, I think it's kind of opened up a portal for him to now take his anger out on me. And
Yeah, I could agree with that.
yeah, it's kind of hard.
I could agree with that.
It's hard.
I
But
don't want to say, picking up on what you just said, like, he's a good person. I can agree that he probably is a good husband or a good person, but then might not have the best traits or good character flaws. So two things can be true at once. They can be a nice person. They can be a good person, but then good people don't do certain things. And I think that sometimes takes away from the person's character. And sometimes when we're in a situation, it's extremely hard to view it that way because this is your husband, right? This is someone you've married, you've had vows with. You're from Alabama, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
how you've been raised, how you might view things even with your parents or people around you. Are you Christian?
I am.
Okay, yeah. So
you know the Bible says
Right.
to be submissive to my husband. So
right.
I've just been taught that, you know, husbands get angry. You know, my dad got angry at my mom, and
Yeah.
you know, things.
This is
So I
stemming
just-
back from childhood trauma. It kind of sounds like things you've kind of witnessed or
Definitely
seen.
witnessed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I thought of it as a trauma at the time. You know,
Yeah.
I just thought it was normal.
Normal, right?
You know,
You're right,
I didn't
because it was your normal. You know, it was
Correct.
something that you normalized because you had to normalize it.
Correct.
So I don't think you should beat yourself up for thinking that it was normal or thinking what your husband was doing at the time was normal, because it's kind of all you knew, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard thing to do, and Dothan's a smaller city, you know. I haven't been here long, so
Yeah.
you know, I've noticed
It
it's
is.
very
It is. We're a very tight knit community here.
tight knit community,
you know,
very
just
small, very private,
Didn't
reserved.
really want to say anything to
Right.
anyone. You know, I didn't know how people would perceive it.
Yeah,
And,
no,
you
I
know,
agree.
Because he's a good man, but he's just I think he's gotten.
Yeah, it sounds like
to a
he's battling a
place.
lot of things.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
he's got to another place where, breaking my shoulder.
Yeah,
That's
that's a huge
kind
red
of where I
flag.
had to
Yeah,
draw the line.
for sure. Because it could have been worse.
Yeah,
It could have not been a shoulder.
yeah,
And that's where I'm glad that you did call the police. I'm glad that you did take it seriously. And now we need to focus more on your mindset. You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
you view yourself, how you're trying to relax yourself. How can you mentally prepare or detox yourself from the situation? I don't know what next steps might be for you. I don't know if you guys are looking into being separated, divorce, time away. I don't know how that is looking for you
he's
right
in jail
now.
right now, so I haven't made that decision. I think that's part of the reason why I came here. I wanted to
Okay.
be able to talk to you and maybe get some insight on maybe what I should do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's a really good step, is to get some good insight, get some different views, not put as many expectations on yourself in a situation, because it's hard. You have a lot of barriers that are kind of, going on right now in the situation. So I do appreciate you coming here to try to figure some things out. Something I do want to work on with you today is a different mindfulness techniques.
Okay.
So I know that because, being in an abusive situation or relationship can really take a toll on the mind. Of course, it takes a toll on your physical being, but it can take a toll on your spiritual and emotional being as well. And that is what I am truly concerned about right now, because you've done the physical part, right? You've called the police. Unfortunately, you're injured in the midst of it, but you were able to get out of it, and you called the police once you noticed it went too far, right?
Right.
I think in order for us to continue down this path, we have to work on your mental piece of it, right?
Right.
So I just want to do a small exercise with you today. It won't be long, but it will be a few seconds where we kind of close our eyes and breathe
Okay.
and do a calming body exercise. Would you be open to doing that?
Sure.
Okay. So we're just going to close our eyes.
Okay.
We're going to take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Another deep breath out. Notice to tone into your chest when you're breathing in. So we're going to breathe in again. And then breathe out. I want you to think of things that bring you peace and comfort and light during this time. I also want you to think of things that make you happy. Not your husband, not your family, not your community. What makes you happy? We're going to breathe in again, okay? And out. We're going to put our shoulders up and back, side, down. Again, shoulders up, back, and then down. And then we're going to do one more breath in and out. That's a quick technique. How did you feel after that technique?
Feels good. Yeah. I feel like that's something I can do at home.
Yeah.
It's easy. I might even be able to do it at work and on my lunch break and
Right.
stuff to kind of help my mind get back refocused. I love to read, so maybe I can do it, right after reading or right before reading.
Yes. And there are a lot of things you can incorporate with this. This is a small one because I just know it's an introductory
Sure.
session. But things I want to work with you on is, working on your mind. So things that we can work on to help you build emotionally, spiritually. So,
Sure.
and you can do things outside of this, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates, different things. They have like spiritual yoga or Pilates as well.
Really?
So sometimes they
Okay.
intergroup different groups
I
or
wasn't aware of
things.
that. I'm gonna
Yeah, they have
have to
some
look
really
that
good
up.
groups, and I can give you those resources.
That would be fantastic.
I know you like to read, so I can also give you some book resources that will
That'd
help
be
you
fantastic.
realize that. And then our next session, I'll give you the resources to go to the yoga or the Pilates, and then we can regroup after that.
Sounds like a plan. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.